Welcome to Design Dreams. My name is Arshdeep Singh. I am UX instructor and a mentor. In this chapter, we're going to be looking at affinity diagrams. So what are affinity diagrams? It's a part of the UX process. You can do this at the initial stages of your UX process. It's essentially to allow you to manage and organize information that you have collected through your primary and secondary research. Okay, so now we are at the step where we have already done our primary research and secondary research, be it through surveys, interviews, focus groups, or any other research technique. We have gathered the data, we have done observations, we have gathered the data now, and now we need to process it. So how do we do that? Affinity diagrams is one of the first one of the important steps in UX design that you can do. So let's have a look at the definition of affinity diagrams given by NNG Group. NNG Group is one of the most prestigious organizations for UX design. Okay, so what they say, affinity diagram refers to organizing related observations, ideas, concepts, or findings into distinct clusters. So like I said earlier, we have gathered a lot of information and we need to process it, and then affinity diagrams help us to organize similar ideas, concepts, and relationships and patterns between that information. Okay. So let's have a look at what are the steps involved in affinity diagrams. There are 3 steps involved in affinity diagrams. First is you generate all the ideas, put them in simpler lines. Second step is you organize related and similar ideas into clusters. And the third step is you prioritize them. You prioritize them based on user requirements, business requirements, technical feasibilities, and any other constraints that you might have. Let's have a look at the first step in detail. This is a case of data collection done for for a certain website. So let's see what are the ideas they have generated here. It says, let's have a look at the first row. User ask tutorials. User to ask, so users are asking for tutorials. Streamline lab testing results access. Okay, clear notification system needed. Faster loading for result pages. Integrate educational resources. User ask, ability to print. Design consistency across devices. Minimize steps for report and downloads. So basically what you have done here is you have written in shorter lines the core ideas on your one idea per sheet. Okay, per, you can say, post-it note. So you don't want to write longer lines, you don't want to write big sentences, you just want to write the core ideas that you have collected in your primary or secondary research on a piece of paper. Okay, that's what you do here. Similarly, as you can see in the last column in the third row, there's a quote mentioned here. I wish you knew what these test results codes meant. Now you can also write quotes that you get from interviews. Quotes basically that are common quotes. Let's say you have done 50 interviews. Let's like a more realistic number. Let's say you've done 10 interviews, and out of 10 interviews you find similarity between a certain demands or certain ask from the user. In this case they say, I wish you know what these test results codes could mean. Okay, now, since this is in context of a website that deals with medical aspects. Okay, so just to summarize, you write your information in small points, one per sticky note. Okay, you organize them this way. Second step, you're going to be clustering them and giving them a name and a category. Okay, first, since we have all those information now, what we have done is we have given The first cluster, education, user education and support. So basically now this falls under the category in one particular category. And the second one is system efficiency and accessibility. So the second cluster is related to accessibility. And then notifications. Let's have a look at example of notifications. Clear notification needed, highlight important notes, highlight important trends, personalized notifications, error, improve messaging, etc., etc. That's what it now these clusters help you to put a certain pattern and a relationship to them. As we said earlier, affinity diagrams help you to identify relationships and patterns. Okay, and that's the second step in affinity design, basically clustering them, giving the category a name so that you know which team should be looking at what, and how things should be managed as you proceed forward in your UX process. Let's have a look at the third step. The third step is then assigning the priority. The priority is generally assigned based on feasibility, user requirements, feasibility, and then you have stakeholder asks, and then of course you want to make any other constraints that you have, you want to take into consideration. So you want to prioritize each cluster and then divide the work accordingly and the resources accordingly and the time accordingly. Since in this case the ones with the highest dots is the highest priority, and the ones with the lowest are taken with the least number of dots. Okay, so that covers your affinity diagrams, and I hope you found this information useful and you'll be able to process your information much more efficiently now and have a better user experience outcomes. Take care, have fun. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and yeah, see you later.